Right now, for the first time since 1976, more than half the country is single. A study done by a company called City Lab was just released the other day with some really surprising numbers.
All right, so get this. Out of the 50 states, 27 recorded that single adults make up more than half of their population. What could be the reason for the high numbers being so high? And does this mean if you're single, you don't really have a chance of finding love? Let's talk about this on the couch this morning. This morning we have Anthony Recenello. He's a professional matchmaker. Anthony, nice to have you back.
Nice to
Carrie
see
Cassidy
you.
and Erica Pittman from Bravo's hit show, The Singles Project, which is fascinating in it all because it's interactive and we can tweet you. So let's talk about that. Half of the population, and in New York alone, the number is 55.4%. So Anthony, the first question's up to you.
Okay, first of all, I think, why do we need to get married anymore anyway?
Wow.
I'm not saying I'm against marriage. I'm all for marriage.
Well, the
And
two
if
women just gasped when you just said it. Listen, they just opened their mouth in horror.
If it happens to me, great.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the focus years ago was let's get married, let's get married. Why? Because one, people are saying, you know, it's for religion.
Okay.
Two, it's so people could actually have sex. Back then, that was the only time people could have sex.
Okay.
And in three, number three, there's much more progress in equal rights
God,
for
I have
women.
so many issues with what you just
Yeah.
said.
Well,
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions for all of you on this one. So I'm going to throw out an old saying. And when I was single, I heard this all the time before I got married.
Don't buy the cow. You don't
Exactly.
say that. Don't say that.
But
that is so sexist. It's ridiculous.
But everyone, we've all heard this saying, and I'm wondering, do you think, is this a part of it? The fact that today's society, it isn't, you know, it's like it's out there. The milk's everywhere. It's like, you know, it's like you can, it's like milk all you can drink. It's like I'm on an app and oh look, here's some milk. Let me get, you know,
got milk.
Got milk. Exactly.
All right, ladies, it's up to you.
What do you think?
Erica, go ahead. Carrie?
I have some traditional views around marriage, and I do believe that women have made it a lot easier for men to just have their way in all senses of the word. And I think that men have a lot more options than they did years ago. And so it makes it difficult for you to find someone to kind of settle down with and really get serious about.
Yeah, and you don't always know, especially obviously nowadays, what people are doing. They can,
is it because of the internet and everything like that?
Because of the internet,
it's just
because
too
of
much
texting,
access?
because of apps. You can't keep tabs on, usually, I mean, back when I think it was, you know, Susie's mom saw your dad with so-and-so at the bake shop or something. Nowadays, it's like you can be doing things people don't know.
But do you think it's just harder for men and women to, you know, find a mate? For men to actually make the commitment because of their issues?
I actually
and
do.
Women too?
I think it actually is harder because one, especially in New York City and in urban areas.
Okay, are you part of the me generation? Me, what I want, what I need, what, and right now.
I guess maybe, I don't know.
No, I'm talking about that in a very sort of
Broad way.
broad brushstroke.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. But what I'm saying is, now we're focusing more on
career,
Tinder, on Facebook. We have more time to look at things.
Yes.
We're objectifying
so
people
you're saying
through pictures.
that there's more sampling going on.
Exactly.
Okay, so the
Because
Boo-Hoo
focusing
platter
on
has a lot going on.
There are a
What
lot
about
of
Ashley
options.
Madison? That's a site dedicated to people that are in committed relationships that want to meet in secret. I mean, it's scary.
But I feel like it seems like a broader culture shift. So we can talk about that more, but let's move on. Let's talk about some other reasons why people are staying single. I mean, look, there's a financial component, don't you think, too?
Absolutely. I think that people are more
Cheaper?
career-driven than they have been in years past. And, you know, people like to kind of focus on their careers first in this generation, I think, before they reconnect.
Yeah.
And you get kind of set in your ways a little bit. It makes it harder to find a mate.
All right, you guys are, you know, you're young, but, you know,
Thank
40's
you.
around the corner, you know, at some point.
Really around the corner.
Yeah, right. And I'm just going to tell you, I mean, do you ever think about that? 40, 50, 60, single and still dating? I mean, is that something
I
to
absolutely
think about
that all the time, which is
Okay.
why I decided to do Singles Project. For me, I figured I had to do something radically different to have a radically different result, and I want to be married and have a family, and let's face it, you know, time's a wasting. So wanted to put myself out there to find the
Married
right
and a
person.
family in that order.
Married and then a family. It's absolutely in that order for me.
Carrie, are you with that artist guy?
Yes.
He's fantastic.
Oh, wow. Am I getting married to him? Yes, and we're having family.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Hi, Dad. No, I'm just kidding. No, I have
But you went
similar
out of your box.
views.
You went out of your box in dating this guy.
I did go out of my. I'm still creeping out of my box, which is something I probably wouldn't have done if not for the Singles Project. So it's been an amazing
But
experience.
I gotta say, a lot of women have a lot of high expectations, and so do guys.
I want to ask
We have
Anthony too.
so many.
So when you were like 50 and 60, are you going to be the guy in like at the bar still in like the leisure
Here's
suit?
the thing.
Is that going to be you?
You know,
or what?
like, you know, I want to make sure you understand what I said before.
Go ahead.
I'm all for marriage.
Yeah.
I actually plan on being married by 35. I'm 30 right now.
Wow.
I want to be married. But what I'm saying is there was a pressure
Okay, I
on
see
being
that.
married. After you get out of college, after you get out of high school,
There was like
there's
there
expectations.
was a roadway,
If you
a
don't,
map.
if a woman doesn't get married, she's an old maid back then.
Yeah.
If a woman doesn't get married now, that's great. That's independence, and I'm all for that.
But can I tell you something? Guys do look at women at a certain age and go, she's not really in her childbearing years, you know. I don't really
you know,
think
I
so.
think-
wrong with
think
her?
there's-
Why
I
hasn't
think-
she been married yet?
Yeah,
I think
that's
comes up a
right.
You know,
lot.
I don't agree with that.
You
I
don't
think
agree with
different
that?
people have different opinions, and I really
There's a lot
do
of
think
single
that
people
people's
around.
opinions are changing.
55.7% of Rhode Island, 55.7%.
Well, Rhode Island.
I mean,
We're not solving this one today. You see the numbers there. We can keep this conversation going.
Yeah,
you
can
know
we
what?
just-
Why don't you weigh in online? Why don't you at
can-
home join the conversation
can
as
we
well?
stop the milk and the cow thing?
Yeah,
It's
please.
2014. I got to come up with something for men. You know what
really.
I mean?
Hey, for more information on City Lab's study and to see clips from the Singles Project, excuse me, go to PIX11.com and join the conversation.